Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I've found some time to film a little video for you. So here I am in my bedroom. Henry's with the childminder downstairs and I've been editing. If you don't know, I'm a photographer, so I run my own business and I've just been editing some photos for a lovely family that I captured. So yeah, just been working this morning, but I've got a little bit of time just to come on here and do another video for you. So my last video was kind of saying hi again and giving you an update of like what's been going on with me and like where I'm at. And yeah, I feel like when I did that video, I'd started the low carb, I'd lost 16 pounds, and I still am doing low carb. I had a bit of a predicament. So when I started the low carb diet, I was eating a lot of like salad leaves and vegetables and stuff, and I have a very sensitive system, so I have a lot of intolerances. Like I can't eat dairy, I can't eat gluten, I can't eat peas, some peanuts. Sometimes, well, I've been told I can't eat eggs, things like that. Even though I do eat eggs, there's a lot of things that I'm intolerant to: black pepper, celery, the list goes on. And so when I start, and I've also got a mild stomach hernia, so I recently had some tests done on my stomach and they found a stomach hernia. So basically I started the low carb diet, which meant I was eating a lot more veg and with meat. And what happened is my stomach hernia got really inflamed through eating too much green leaves and salad and veg. And so what happened is I had this awful GERD attack, and literally for about 3 or 4 days I just was in so much pain and discomfort, to the point where I was like, I don't know if I can do low carb anymore because I was in so much pain. Now, if you look at the guidelines for how to heal a stomach hernia, they say to have a low fat diet. And obviously with low carb, you're eating a higher fat diet because you're replacing the carbs with fat. And so that was kind of my predicament. Now, I think I need to find some kind of balance with that, because I do need to get my insulin levels down, because I do have insulin resistance and I do have a lot of chronic illnesses that I do need to manage well with diet. And also I've got a lot of weight to lose. So I am going to be continuing with the low carb diet, but I'm going to be reducing my fat as well. So a little bit more restrictive, but I'm just going to see how I go. I'm also going to reduce the amount of salad that I eat to see if that helps with my hernia and GERD symptoms. So I'm kind of like doing an elimination diet a little bit at the moment. I'm going to try and keep a diary of foods that irritate me, foods that make me have flare-ups, because if I eat certain foods I can get flare-ups and they can last for like a week. So I'm very sensitive to what I eat. But I'm really determined to do this. I'm determined to lose this extra weight that I really need to get off. I mean, I probably need to lose around 4 to 5 stone to be at a really healthy weight. And I also need to heal my metabolic conditions, my thyroid, PCOS, endometriosis. I've got arthritis in my knees and hips. There's lots of things that are going on with me that I need to heal. So I lose weight really slowly. I can be on a low carb, calorie restrictive diet and my body may shed 2 or 3 pounds in like a month. Which I know a pound a week is quite steady, but the problem with me is that I'll go through the month, lose that 3 pound, and then it will fluctuate back up again. I don't really move very often. It's taken me a year, a whole 12 months to get 16 pounds off my body. And I go walking every day, I drink 2 litres of water every day. I try and eat as well as I can. And so I did speak to the endocrine specialist, and she told me that I need to have a cortisol test done, which I'm actually having done. So I'm having bloods taken tomorrow. That's going to look at all of my hormones and everything. And then I'm having a 24-hour pee test starting tomorrow. I've got to collect it from the hospital in the morning. And that's going to, basically I've got to pee into this jug for 24 hours and then send it off to the lab on Thursday morning. That will then test my cortisol levels. Now, cortisol is caused by stress. It can be caused by other chronic conditions as well, but it can be elevated through stress. And I have had chronic anxiety since my son was born. I believe it's some kind of postpartum stress anxiety that I developed because it came as soon as he was born. When I had the blues after he was born, it never really kind of stopped. And my anxiety and stress is really high, and I also work quite a stressful job being a full-time photographer, and like those things combined, as well as having a toddler and also dealing with past trauma and things that I won't get into now, but all of that kind of combined can cause a lot of stress and then cause your cortisol to be elevated, which in return basically makes your body not lose weight. So there could be a situation where my cortisol is high, which means I've not been able to lose weight. My testosterone is also elevated due to PCOS, so that is also a thing, part of the issues that I'm having. And then also my thyroid condition, my antibodies. So the range is 0 to 34, mine are in the 600s. So my antibody levels for my thyroid are out of control, which means I have Hashimoto's disease, which is where my body is attacking my thyroid gland. And to be honest with you, I don't really know how to reduce that. I'm trying to research myself. And like I was speaking to my partner the other night, and I was crying my eyes out because I was like, it's not fair that women get diagnosed with thyroid conditions, PCOS, endometriosis, and we literally are left with no information. It really, really upsets me that we leave the doctor's office with no information, no support groups, nothing. And it really, really upsets me because when I was diagnosed with my thyroid condition in 2020, I think I was told to take my medicine 1 hour before food and 4 hours gap between taking any other medication. And that is the correct information to receive. But I felt at the time that my thyroid had broken down, and I now have to take medicine for the rest of my life. I have to take thyroxine for the rest of my life. Now, there was no support to help me transition from someone who was on no medication to then having to be on medication for the rest of my life. My hair had fallen out. I had alopecia all over my head. I was totally exhausted, couldn't get out of bed, and I had no reasoning as to why this was happening to me, and nobody would help me or support me. It then took like a year for me to see any kind of endocrine specialist, which then I had my thyroid gland scanned. They told me that my thyroid gland was damaged. You could visibly see it on the scan, and that I would be on thyroxine for the rest of my life. The antibodies were really high. All I could do was take my thyroxine and have my levels checked every so often throughout my entire life, and adjust my dose as and when. And I have adjusted my dose as and when. After I had my son in 22, my thyroid levels went from underactive to overactive, which meant that I was my levels were so low that I had to reduce my dose. And then now they're kind of okay, But I recently spoke to another endocrine specialist, and they said that one of my thyroid levels are not great either. So it's like the NHS are definitely missing pieces of the puzzle. They're not helping people with thyroid conditions to really understand the disease that they have, and like how to manage that through diet, exercise, stress management. And I'm not qualified. Like, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a PT, I'm not a doctor. I have no education in this, but what I do know is that people who are diagnosed with metabolic or hormonal conditions are being left. They're not getting the correct information. They're not getting any support groups to help them through this. And it's just really upsetting. And to be delivered information from a doctor, and for you to just absorb that information and walk out that office and just be like, okay, I have to accept this. Like, it's really sad that we have to just accept what is, and then there's no additional support to kind of work through that and make positive changes to then improve your condition. Like, it just upsets me. And like, I have a Facebook support group which is called The Healing Thyroid, and I created it just to literally allow people to come in and then have that support from each other. I don't educate people, it's just a community based group, and there's 153 people in there already, and some people in there have thyroid cancer, and you know, they're going through infertility, and like so many different stories that are in that group. And it just, like, there needs to be more support for people, and also for people who have like PCOS, like myself, and endometriosis. Like, these are conditions that we don't know much about because we don't get the information given to us, and also how to improve them. It's very upsetting, and it's such a big thing for me to get that kind of message and awareness out there, because I feel like if I'm gonna have a platform like Mum to Henry, then I want to put it to good use, and I want to talk about these things with you guys, so that hopefully I'm making a positive impact on this kind of stuff. Because, you know, I love my photography business. I'm photography mad, and you know, I'm very busy with my work and my family life, but this is a really important mission for me on the side of that. And I really hope that that you are, I don't know how the words to say it, but I really hope that this kind of content is supportive of any of you that are going through a thyroid condition or PCOS or endo or any other hormonal metabolic issues. I really hope that, just know that you're not alone, and any of the symptoms or anxiety or stress or fatigue or any of the mental issues that come with this, like, just know that you're not alone. And like, I want to make it my mission to at least make some changes or give people more support, because I need support. And like, I'm this kind of person that if there isn't something available, I'm going to go and make it. I can't help it. Like, I run as you guys know, I'm a photographer, so I shoot weddings and families, but I also run a very successful photography meetup group. We've got over 1,500 members in there. I run free meetups every month and paid workshops. I teach photographers basically. But this kind of like health interest that I have of raising awareness of these conditions is something that is also a really big passion of mine. And you know, I have thought about maybe setting up more support groups, maybe a walking club or a safe space where people can come and talk about things. I don't know what the future looks like, but I'm just going to use my YouTube platform, my Instagram, to hopefully make some changes around the way, you know, we get that support. I'd love in the future to do like a campaign to put more things into the NHS. I don't know what the future holds, but all I know is that I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about our diet. I'm passionate about feeling better, passionate about support. I'm passionate about also like raising awareness for like family members to be able to know what you're going through, like your partners, your parents, your children. Like, do they know exactly what you're going through as someone with a chronic condition, and how can they help you, and how can you work as a team to kind of like get through every single day? Because sometimes every day can feel like this gigantic mountain, and I just think it's really important that we try and support each other and, you know, really try and help each other to get healthy and to live long lives, you know, until we're really old and grey. And we yeah, I hope you understand where I'm coming from. It's just a passion of mine, because I wasn't supported when I was diagnosed with all of these conditions. You know, when I was diagnosed with endometriosis, they literally told me I had growing pains. Like, I had to go private to get the operation, to have the exploratory surgery to find it all, because the NHS would not listen to me when I was 14. And so I had to go private, and we couldn't afford private healthcare, but I had to do it because I was in so much agony. My mum was just like, we have to go private because no one's listening to us. Went private, had the op, they found it, you know, and I'd had another surgery since then to burn out even more endo. Then they found I had PCOS, cysts on my ovaries, the testosterone. Then my thyroid broke down, and I'm thinking, what is going on? Like, why is my body breaking down like this? And I think I've got to the point in my life where I'm overweight. I've got all these chronic health conditions. It's time for me to really take my health into my own hands, because no one's helping me. I need to do this for myself. I need to do the low carb diet, get my sugar and my insulin down in my body. And it's time to get myself back to optimal health, and hopefully take you guys on that journey and inspire you, support you, and hopefully make some changes around this area of my life. So yeah, I had to get all that out today. I've been really like excited to just get all of that out onto this channel. Let me know in the comments if you suffer with any of the conditions I've spoken to you about today, or if you know someone that has been going through this. And I just would love to know your story in the comments about how you was diagnosed. Did you receive any support? Do you get any support? What would you like to see in the future for people with chronic conditions? So I would love to know your thoughts on this. I'm going to love and leave you now, because I literally have 15 minutes until the childminder is clocking off, and I need to go back down to Henry and make his lunch, and I've got to upload a gallery for a client. So I'm going to love and leave you here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, like, and yeah, comment below your story. I'd love to know, and I will be in the comments replying to all of you. Bye guys.